in the kitchen, and today's host, Chris, is cooking up a plan to try and grab top spot.
What I'm doing tonight is I'm introducing the guys to some fantastic rustic-style French food. But the difference with this is it's going to be British produce you're using. Who says Basingstoke can't be French and fancy?
Not moi. Chris is kicking off his franglaise menu with his starter. Done with cheese au four avec chicory et pain.
Did he turn French halfway through writing this?
Ton worth cheese. What's that? Is that like a ton of cheese or £100 worth of cheese?
No, it's cheese from Tunworth, just down the road.
He's going to be oven baking the cheese and some sort of bread to dip in.
Spot on.
So this cheese is going to be baked in the oven, so they've got the option of using the chicory or the bread to dip in. I could quite easily use the camembert today, but no, I want to use local produce.
You're going to give it a whiff.
That smells like £1,000.
Not sure where you bank. He cuts the top off so he can add extra ingredients to the cheese.
So what we've got here is some fantastic smoked garlic, and that's from the Isle of Wight garlic farm. Absolutely top end.
Oh, fancy. He adds fresh rosemary and sets aside. Better make sure you've made enough.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Your French accent is superb. Next, Chris prepares his bread.
So the guys tonight are going to ask if I made my own bread, and the answer's going to be yes.
He starts by mixing dried yeast with water before sieving his flour. He adds a glug of olive oil to the yeast mixture and combines the lot to create a dough.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave that to prove, and that is going to be amazing.
Next up, it's his chicory.
So avec chicory, I don't think anyone's heard of this before, so it's going to be a real good surprise for him tonight.
What's chicory? Chicken.
You what?
Chicken pate.
Oh, good grief.
Chicory's a bittersweet leaf, obviously very commonly found around France. It's to go with the cheese itself.
He'll serve the chicory with the bread and cheese that he'll bake before serving. Night in and around Basingstoke.
Cheers all.
Cheers all.
Where competitive foodie Chris is hoping his rustic French fare combined with a 90s dress code will bag him the grand. In the kitchen, Chris is working on his homemade bread and fancy local cheese.
Great mood tonight. Everyone's really up for it.
They certainly are.
Are we all giving our attempt of twerking?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's Gangnam.
Boom, chicka, chick, boom.
Now that's more like it.
Twerky blurky, mate.
All right, that's enough of that. Back in the kitchen, and Chris is plating up.
That is smelling fantastic. That really is premium cheese going on there. Bread is homemade. That's the thing. It's all about being homemade. That is a winning starter tonight.
Your guests will be the judge of that. Voilà, Tunworth cheese au four avec chicory et pain. That's bread and cheese to you and me.
It's French food, but obviously using local British produce.
I didn't really expect this, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I think this is amazing. The bread, that was great. The cheese, anyone can put cheese in the oven, right?
I loved it. It was cheese and dippy bread. What more can you say? It was all local produce, homemade bread. Yeah, superb. The boy done well.
I'm very happy with this, and when I saw it earlier, I was very excited about it.
Darling.
I thought cheese on toast amazing, and I thought, it's not Stilton. I'm going to be able to eat this.
Hello, was that a jibe at your starter, is it?
Yeah, I feel that it was a bit of a dig at me. I tried to let it go over my head as much as I could.
Having a bit of banter with Izzy, just not having any Stilton in it was good for me. Just a pokey.
Play nicey.
90s is my era, my decade. The music was coming through. What would be your era?
I think it'd be the 90s. You know, I never had to wash myself.
You what?
My bottom got wiped for me.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
I'd have to pop back to the 20s. That prohibition jazz, that just people looking a bit sharp, a little bit underground in places.
I loved, Downton Abbey, how they dressed,
Yeah.
how the gentlemen were gentlemen and how they treated the ladies and they used to court them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd like to be upstairs, not downstairs.
I was thinking more New York street underground jazz music. Of course, the laird here is thinking about the staff. But we get that.
So, Izzy, who would you say here is the most gentlemanly man?
Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all the way, Christopher.
Thank you.
Who is the least gentlemanly man here?
Mark, because he's very outspoken and
Go on.
Moving on.
No.
What about you guys?
Isabella, I respect you for that.
Well, you're happy with yourself. You're content with who you are, so that's fine. Mark is the least gentlemanlike. You know, he's very outspoken, and Mark did slightly irritate me with his comments and trying to dig.
Of course I'm a gentleman. I'll hold the door. I'll let you make the tea.
Oh, he's a keeper.